Render staking is coming and I will tell you why. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Doug and today's video I'm going to explain to you why RNP 11 will be the greatest render update ever and also tell you everything you need to know about the render staking mechanism. So let's start off this video with the greatest render network proposal ever, 0.11 PIWA, creating millions of 3D trading assets. So basically it was proposed by Emmet, the founder of Stability AI, literally one of the biggest AI companies in the world. And what they're gonna mention in this PIWA, and of course what we're gonna mention in this video, is the new render network proposal, a model for Stability AI to leverage the render network to create a dataset of 1 billion 3D assets used to train the next generation of 3D artificial intelligence. So this is very, very big. And I didn't think this was that big until I saw this video.
When you look at the building blocks, the tools that decentralized AI, that corner of the world, our corner of the world, has to offer people trying to solve some of these problems, how would you give us a grade as to like how good are the tools that are available, or is there still like a lot left to be desired in the platforms and infrastructure and tools that are needed in order to build out this whole like decentralized AI part of the universe?
So like I joined Render Network as an advisor to help upgrade the token economics and, leverage the million GPUs they have. But it's a very specific use case. It was the first Render Network proposal I did was let's use tokens to build a commons of 3D assets, because Render is based on Otoy, which is the default for this, work with Star Trek and a whole bunch of others, as a common good that then people can license. And so you can have some local things like that that are really interesting, because like we built the biggest 3D data set ever. In the previous large was 100,000 3D assets, 10 million Objaverse Excel at Stability to build our cutting edge 3D models. Made that open. We're going to go to 1 billion assets, and obviously that's a good thing. So, and Render kind of set up ages ago and it enables that.
In my opinion, we just heard some crazy things from Emmet. The first things he said was that he's going to upgrade the tokenomics and leverage the million GPUs that Render has. And the second crazy part was that he said that he had built Stability AI on 100,000 3D assets and Render is going to build 1 billion. So basically 10,000 more assets, which is incredible, because if you didn't know yet, Stability AI is literally one of the biggest companies in the world. Just take a look at this example. Stability AI created 12.59 billion AI created images in a total of 15.47 billion in the world. So it's far bigger than Dell, which is from Microsoft. It's far bigger than Adobe. It's far bigger than Midjourney. It's far bigger than OpenAI. Like literally by far the biggest in the world. Like this is 90% of almost all AI created images in the world are done by Stable Diffusion. And this is not even everything. Stable Diffusion or Stability AI is also the fastest growing application. They even overtook OpenAI, which is basically ChatGPT, which used to be the fastest growing consumer application. Like them mentioning that Render is going to create 1 billion assets is just insane. Like I didn't even think it was such a big deal until I heard that Stability AI was built on 100,000, so 10,000 times more. So this is already a very, very big update, and of course such a big update you need money for it. So what basically Emmet says, what to give an idea, the Render Network Foundation will be allocating over $200 million to proposals like this, renders and more over the next few years at current levels. Could be a lot more than this with the existing mechanisms. Decentralized data creation and augmentation is just the first step. So they're gonna literally invest $250 million in things like this over the next coming years. And in my opinion, the 3D assets is a very, very big thing. And we haven't even talked about staking yet. So the second part of this video will be about, according to the proposal, usage of the dataset will be mediated exclusively with Render. So you have to use the Render token on Solana. And Render network nodes will be incentivized to contribute to asset generation with a new staking program, which I'm gonna tell you everything about in a sec, that helps administrator governance and rewards nodes for providing upfront compute and storage infrastructure. And before I tell you everything you need to know about Render staking, this video is brought to you by RENDY AI, the most advanced AI meme coin you will ever see. The market cap is only 1.7 million, meaning this could be the easiest 100x of your life, because a 100x would mean 170 million market cap, which is nothing. They even have a collaboration with one of the biggest AI coins in the world, Paul AI, and this is made possible by the most excellent team, which includes me as well. And Rendy is all about giving back to Rendy holders, and they're starting off with a $1,000 giveaway to Rendy holders. So if you want to know how to buy Rendy and how to enter the $1,000 giveaway, just go to the top of the description and click on the How to Buy Rendy guide, or enter the $1,000 giveaway. Once you click on the Rendy buying guide, you will see a step-by-step guide on how to buy it, which is actually very good for new investors. The $1,000 giveaway post will also explain to you how to enter, and you have to hold Rendy, so you definitely want to read the post on how to buy it. So basically the Render staking will be utilized to power this training work for two reasons. So the training work is to create the 3D assets. 1. Staking will incentivize nodes to work in a good faith as users choose to restake and therefore deprioritize bad faith nodes. So basically what they're going to do is make a proof of work. So if nodes are doing bad, Render stakers will actually unstake, and the network will automatically just cut out the nodes, be like, these nodes cannot create 3D assets because they're bad, like bad faith nodes. And the second thing will be, staking is an effective mechanism to provide rewards for users and nodes that choose to engage in this upfront training and data storage investment. So basically what they're saying is they want to reward the node operators and the stakers who are gonna be upfront with this. So basically just provide their GPUs, be up for the entire time, not knowing when there will be something created. So it will not basically be running 24/7 on your GPU, but you need to be up for this. And of course, where is all this money coming from, you might be wondering. Well, it's explained right here. After the successful generation of the dataset, buyers interested in running models on the dataset can do so through an interface that allows them to pay for data and license it for a given amount of time. So we've heard a lot of these things lately about artists basically suing 3D and AI companies because they're using their generated art in their models, which is not really allowed without paying for a license. So what Render Network wants to do, they want to create 1 billion 3D assets and license it. And then the users will need to pay for the use of the data and for the license in Render. And revenue generated from will flow back to the nodes and users who participate in the generation of datasets. So basically, this is where the money for the staking will be coming from. So here we go with the revenue distribution and explain to you how the staking actually works. So revenue for model licensing will be distributed based on the stake weight system. So until 1 billion assets have been created, 50% of all license revenue will go back towards generating additional data, basically data needed to make the 3D assets, which is logical because you have to have some data to create something. Like, what are you going to create? So they need the data and then actually put that data in the 3D asset generator and generate generate 3D assets. And generation nodes earn revenue proportional to the amount of 3D asset generators, and stakers receive a percentage of the set revenue. So basically what's going to happen is this: you have these generational nodes which are up, so the amount of tokens they get is the amount of work they put in. So again, proof of work. So of course a node operator which puts in a lot of work will generate a lot of models, will get a lot of licensing revenue, and reward their stakers better. So this is where the stakers are. They are probably gonna choose the best generating nodes, and these nodes are gonna give a percentage of the licensing to the render stakers. So it just basically depends on how big is this gonna be. Like if I run the numbers and I see that Stability AI did everything with 100,000 3D assets and Render is building 1 billion, this could be very, very big. And also it would help people to migrate to Render Solana, because there's actually a very big issue right now with Render on Solana, which I'm going to explain to you right now. So a lot of people have seen it lately that the render price, basically the RNDR price, is always much higher than the render price, the coin on Solana. So this is because the render RNDR token has way more liquidity than the render Solana token, because it's on every major exchange. It has insane volume. Like every big whale, every market maker is basically using render on Ethereum, and this is also the reason why I'm still holding render on Ethereum, because the volume is way bigger. So in a bull run, if you want to cash out, you will have no problems with liquidity. But it's actually way worse than people think. So let's take a look at the volume on Ethereum render. So Ethereum render is like 140 million in the last 24 hours. And now let's take a look at Solana. Like on CoinMarketCap, I cannot even find the Coinbase version of the Solana variant. So let's take a look at Dex Screener, where you can basically find a lot of these things and type in render. So we're just gonna type in render, and then we can see it's on a lot of decentralized exchanges. It has 295,000 volume on, like, this is, I don't know what this guy, Orca I think. And then on this exchange, which is called Meteora, it has 256k. And then let's go down. Radium, only 1.3k. Like there's no volume. If you add this all, you'll not even be at 1 million volume. I think it'll be like 600,000. 600,000 in volume compared to 150 million in volume. So that's basically, if we count, that's like a 300x in volume, maybe even more. So there's not enough volume, and this is why the whales are not going to Solana render, because if you want to cash out 1 million, there might not be even enough liquidity to sell 1 million in render tokens. While with render RNDR, if you sell even 10 million, it might affect the price with like 10 cents, but that's everything. If you do it with Solana render, you will crash the token. And that's why there's need to keep building on these things. Like these things, like these big updates, like this RNP 011, it just has to give more use to render on Solana. And of course, everybody always says, well, Doc, they're using render on Solana. Render is the main token. Render on RNDR is not used by the network. Well, that's true, but there's a migration portal which you can use to always migrate render RNDR to render Solana, not the other way around. So if render Solana goes up a lot, you can just simply migrate your render RNDR and have the same amount of tokens with more value. But the other way around, it's not possible. And that's why, in my opinion, render RNDR is the safest play right now. But of course, I'm really looking forward to these massive updates. And you might be wondering, well, Doc, when are we going to hear more about the staking, more about the 1 billion 3DSs, which is actually a very, very big update in my opinion. And of course, I'm not the only one asking these kinds of questions. So someone asked him in the official render chat, do you have a timeline for kicking off the asset generation? In which he replied to, putting together a new team for this as part of new thing doing tests now. There should be an update in a few weeks. Sorry for the delay. So basically this was posted on May 8th. So we're actually 1 month later, so I'm expecting some more news about this. I didn't make a video about this when this RMP 011 launched because there was not really anything new. But now they have actually put out a post that they're working on it and they will actually show it in a few weeks. So I'm expecting news to come out very soon. And also, when do I expect this major update to be implemented? Well, it depends on the news of Emmet, and I think before the end of the year would be incredible. Like, Render always wants to do things 100% and they never really give deadlines like it's gonna launch Q1, Q2. So we just have to wait on the message of Emmet, in my opinion, and then once he makes that message, I will update a video talking about the message. Probably has a lot of details in it, hopefully, and then keep you up to date. So if you want to know things about staking or the 3D assets, be sure to subscribe to my channel because you will hear it from me in full details, so you definitely don't want to miss out on that. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Be sure to like if you did. Also follow me at TheRealDoc on Twitter to know when I talk about Render or crypto or other very bullish things. Click on the screen right now if you want to know when's the best time to buy Render to make a lot of profits. Subscribe to my channel for more crypto content and YouTube. Until next time.